Hi guys, welcome back to the Drive Life channel, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the W176 Mercedes A Class and whether they're a good used buy. Now these cars first came out in sort of 2012, 2013, and so you're actually getting some quite cheap cars coming onto the market at the moment. The early cars can be picked up for as little as £7,000, with later cars such as this one being priced around the 20 grand mark. And for young drivers, they offer a pretty affordable entry into sort of the premium car brand market. It's where Mercedes are aiming really with younger drivers, just to give them a nice looking sporty hatchback. So in today's video we're going to be talking about whether it's a good used buy. We've owned this one for 5 months now and we bought it used, so yeah, I'd say we're pretty well versed in what it's like to own as a used car. We'll go through the details of the car first. It's a 2017, it's an early one, so that's why it's showing the 66 plate. And it's a 220D Motorsport edition. It's one of 66 ever made, and yeah, it's quite a high spec car. It's the 190 brake horsepower, 2 litre diesel, 2.1 litre diesel. It's got the 7-speed automatic dual clutch transmission as well, and as you can see it's got all the AMG bits on it and everything like that. So this car we bought cash for about 18 grand, and as you can see it's a lovely looking car. I personally love it. I daily drive the Volvo, but actually, yeah, this is a lovely looking car. It's an occasion to drive it as well. But anyway, let's get back to the video. What are these cars like to own second hand? Well, they're Mercedes, so they're fairly reliable. This 2.2 litre engine, 2.1 litre engine even, is known as one of Mercedes' most stout bulletproof engines of the modern era. It's available in the A Class, B Class, C Class, E Class, and they actually put it in an S Class with a hybrid setup. That's just how good this engine is. It's 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds. This has actually done it in slightly less, and Mercedes are always quite conservative with their numbers that they post, sort of for insurance reasons, but also just because that's the way the Germans are. Porsche do the same thing. In terms of ownership costs, again, this thing is fantastically cheap. We've got some mad birds up there. This thing is fantastically cheap. This is £20 a year to tax this car, which is absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. Because we went for the 66 plate, there was a 17 plate, exactly the same money, but it was the higher tax bracket where everything was then £150. So we got the earlier one to save £130 a year on tax. It's a fantastic on fuel as well. It will average 50-60 plus on a motorway run, and it's just a lovely little car. So let's go and take a look at sort of the stuff we need to look out for. And the first thing is going to be on the interior. Now these cars, when they came out, they're obviously cheaper than most Mercedes, so Mercedes had to make a few sort of budget cuts in terms of things like that. So what you'll find is you get fairly tough brittle plastics low down, whereas you don't get that on the more upmarket models. Also, you get it here as well, and what you'll find is there's a few squeaks and rattles because of this. Now if this is something you can live with, you'll be absolutely fine, and you can actually deal with them in terms of removing the panels and refitting them, and it tends to fix a lot of them. If we get inside the car, you'll see the cockpit area is very Mercedes. We'll pull the door shut, and yeah, you would be forgiven to thinking that you were driving any Mercedes. It's a lovely car. You cannot go wrong with it, to be honest. It's got everything Mercedes, so you've got obviously the steering wheel, multifunction, you've got the Mercedes head units, you've got these lovely aluminium vents which have a perfect weighting to them, just makes them lovely to use. You've then got the Mercedes Command head unit, and if I turn the engine on. This one's got keyless as well, as you can see, very Mercedes in here. All of this sort of stuff, we'll turn the blowers down, all of the dials, steering wheel and infotainment system is taken straight out of the C Class of the same generation. We've also got, typically Mercedes, lovely adjustable electric seats as well, which is nice. And yeah, it just gives a really quality feeling in this car. You've got the column shifter, which you get in the bigger models. You've also got the aluminium paddles for the transmission. Obviously, if it's a manual, you won't have that. You've also got the metal buttons and sort of the unit from the C Class, E Class, that sort of thing. So yeah, it's a very well appointed car internally. You do have some more plastic up here, which can be a little brittle, but again, it's not too bad. My only thing is where you can tell they've cut costs is down here. It's all very cheap feeling plastic here, which is a shame because this is the stuff that you use on a daily basis. If they'd have maintained the same quality here with the metal buttons down here, it would have been nice, but this is sort of I don't even know if it's real metal or not. I don't think it is, which is a shame. And yeah, you can just tell there's a quality difference between this bit and this bit here, but again, that's why these cars are more affordable. As a Mercedes though, they do well. You've got your dynamic mode select, so if we go here, you can change the mode of the car. Now, I'm not really that fussed about these sort of mode things. I think they're quite gimmicky, just a way for getting better fuel economy, and I prefer just a car that's just a driver's car, hence why I drive the older Volvo. But yeah, as you can see, lovely interior. Got nicely finished leather here, Alcantara on this model with the Motorsport Edition seats, and you've got the green stitching as well. A few weird things. We've also got carbon harden as well. A few weird things is that this dashboard doesn't. It appears that the people who designed the dashboard and those who designed the doors spoke different languages or something, because most cars this sort of sweeps around nicely, whereas this is just sort of, yeah, there's quite an abrupt end to the dashboard there. But yeah, like I said guys, in terms of reliability, these are excellent. The only sort of things you get are with the cheaper engines, such as the sort of 1.6 petrol, things like that. They're actually French derived engines from Peugeot, and they are rubbish, I'll be totally honest. So if you're going to get one, an A Class, you want to be getting an A200, A250, A220 diesels. 220 diesel, I would say, is my pick of the bunch, not only because we've got one, but also because of the fact it is just an awesome engine. We'll go and take a look at that now. I shall quickly show you in the rear as well. But again, typical Mercedes. You've got the Mercedes start-stop button. You've got the Mercedes handbrake. So you do get a lot of Mercedes features for your money. Now, excuse the rubbish in the back of here, but again, you've got these lovely seats, which are lovely, and a decent amount of room in the back. And it's just a nice car. It's got ambient lighting, swathes of it all around the place, which make it nice. But where you see sort of more shortcomings in terms of the quality, if I can find the bonnet release here, is just little things that you find annoying, really. So first one is under the bonnet here. If we can find the catch, I always struggle on this car. There we go. Now this bonnet isn't gas strutted, so you have to use the arm here. Now to do this one hand, you have to sort of use your shoulder as well. It's not an easy task. So if you were driving one of these with only one arm, you would struggle to do your own maintenance, or if you're trying to film a YouTube video. But yeah, as you can see, apart from that, which in Mercedes eyes I suppose is quite a small thing, this is exactly as you would find it in the C Class, so they've done well there. And yeah, guys, it's just a lovely, lovely car. I've told you this so many times now. This 220 engine is the best one to go for, hands down. In terms of problems that these cars have, we have the interior plastics. They go a bit funny, that they can do. Also, there is a lot of road noise on this car. Manufacturers, when they make these cheaper cars, they save money on sort of insulation and things like that, so there is a lot of road noise inside the car at sort of 70 miles an hour on a motorway. I'm quite lucky because I come from the Volvo, which is a big saloon car designed to do thousands of miles on the motorway, so it is more suited for that environment. Round town though, this is absolutely fine. I would also say that the ride can be a little bit harsh with this AMG suspension, but really, if you're looking in the market to get one of these, the AMG is a lovely looking car, and it was probably the car that I would go for in terms of spec. Interior wise, you want to look for the Premium Plus package if you can. Gives you the larger infotainment system screen, also gives you the sort of more premium feeling interior as well. You get stuff like these electric memory seats on the front, the driver's and passenger side. You also get the Harman Kardon as well, which is nice, and the multi-function lovely steering wheel. They do sometimes have infotainment issues because these are an aging system. The early ones do have issues in terms of sort of the lack of software updates. They can glitch, etc. But you get that in any modern car nowadays. Any used modern car, the technology gets old and you will find those issues arise. In terms of maintenance costs and things like that, they're fairly reasonable. I mean, you can get a basic service from a Mercedes dealer is between 150 to 200 pounds. Major service, you're looking at 350 to 400 quid. If you do it yourself, you save yourself a considerable amount of money. And in terms of whether you go manual or auto, I would say it's completely up to you, to be honest. This is a dual clutch system, so it will require maintenance and it will wear over time and will eventually need replacing. But then again, that's the same as a clutch on a manual. So yeah, if you want a manual, it's going to be less maintenance. I mean, you have to have the fluid changed in this every 64,000 miles, so it's not too bad in that respect. But yeah, they are brilliant little cars. My only concern is we've got a bit of sort of fogging up in here, so we're going to try and get that addressed. And that's, to be honest, is really it. It's a lovely car. So thanks for watching, guys. It was a nice Subaru Impreza go past. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. If you've got an A Class, let me know if you've had any issues with yours. It would be interesting to hear your guys' thoughts as well. Let me know if I've missed anything out and I'll pin it as a top comment. But yeah, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.